When you're building an app, you constantly have the question running through your mind, should I build a particular piece of functionality myself, or should I find something existing that already works and use that in my app instead? For example, a few weeks ago when I was building this coronavirus app on my channel, I made the choice to use this Angular SVG US map, and that really sped up the development, but it actually didn't do 100% of what I needed it to do, and I had to modify it in order for it to work in my app. The first question I always ask when I'm deciding if I want to build something from scratch or not is there something already out there like this? So in this case, I went to Google and I typed in npm Angular US map. For those who don't know, npm stands for Node Package Manager, and it's a huge library of JavaScript packages that we can use when building our apps. And so I did a little Google search for npm Angular US map because Angular is what I use inside of Ionic. And I found this lovely little package here, Angular US map. And of all the Google results, this one looked by far the best. It had the nicest looking map, and it also had good looking code and inputs and outputs and things like that. So the answer to my first question of is there an existing one? The answer is yes. The second question though is, does the existing do what you want? Actually, this one did not do exactly what I wanted. It didn't allow me to fill specific states. It says you can set the fill state color, but that's for all states. And this map needed to fill particular states. So it's not exactly what we want. So the next question I ask is, can the existing be modified to do what you want? And in this case, since the code is under the MIT license, that means I can open up the source code. Right here, I'll just click on this GitHub link and scroll up to the top here, and under source, app, US map, we can see the full source code for this component. And in the video, I modified that package to support coloring the individual states. But not everything can be modified so easily. For example, if I wanted to embed videos in my app, then I could decide either to use an existing video player like Vimeo or YouTube player, but those can't be modified as easily. They are loaded in from a third party, and you kind of get what you get. Once you get that stuff, you can't modify the code that's being loaded in. And then the last question I like to ask is this free? Or is this under the MIT license? If the package is under the MIT license or the thing you want to use is free, then that's the final decision. If it passed all the other questions, then I'm probably going to use this thing. So in summary, when deciding whether to build something myself or not is I first ask, is there an existing one? If there isn't an existing one, then we're done. I have to build it myself. But if there is an existing one, I ask another question. Does the existing one do what I want? If the answer is yes, I'll continue on. If the answer is no, I've got to ask another question. Can the existing one be modified to do what I want? If it can, or it already does what I want, then I'm finally going to ask, is it free or is it under the MIT license? If either of those are true, then there's basically no downside, and I'm just going to use it. In fact, that's one of the main benefits to using a framework like Ionic, is you get to take advantage of a massive library of packages known as NPM. So that's it for this video, just my thoughts on when to build something yourself versus use an existing package or another service like Vimeo or YouTube if you're trying to build a video player. Just my thoughts on when to build it yourself versus not. If you haven't seen my coronavirus video, you should check that out. I built this full app on camera in one sitting. So that's it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.